Hello, welcome to Seeking Wisdom, where I cover the wise teachings from the past and look at its application in the modern world. In a world where information is abundant, it is easy to get overwhelmed and even distracted by meaningless content. On the other hand, it is easier now more than ever to quickly learn just about anything. So then what makes some information valuable, while other information can be consumed and then discarded? With so much knowledge at our fingertips and with so many options, we have to choose wisely. According to the Cambridge Dictionary, wisdom is defined as the ability to use your knowledge and experience to make good decisions and judgments. In this episode, we will take a look at what wisdom is and why wisdom is so important. Socrates was acclaimed to be the wisest man in ancient Greece by many, including the supernatural oracle of Delphi. Yet he claimed that he was wise because he knows that he does not know. Quote, "As I engaged him in discourse, it seemed to me that, although this man was thought wise by many other people, and most of all by himself, he was not wise. So I then attempted to show him that, although he believed himself to be wise, he was not wise. As a result, I was hated by him and by many of those present. I reckoned as I was going that I am wiser than this man, for it is likely that neither of us knows anything noble and good, but he thinks that he knows something when he does not know, while I do not actually know. I don't even think that I know. So perhaps in this one minor respect, I am wiser than he is. I do not think I know what I do not know." End quote. Socrates, the Apology. Socrates was put on trial for allegedly corrupting the youth and for not believing in the gods and making the weaker argument the stronger. Socrates was brought to defend his life in court because he was influencing the youth and others to critically question the world and the lives that they lived and what values they upheld. He promoted people to face the uncomfortable truth and reality that they really do not know as much as they think that they know, and to reconsider what they prized as most important in their lives. Socrates convicted people through questioning them on what they said they valued most and how their actions aligned with what they said. Socrates frequently convicted men who considered themselves wise through his thorough questioning and discovered that they only actually had wisdom in very specific areas, but rather were foolish in the most important areas of life. Socrates, the wisest man in Greece, was cited as saying, quote, "Best of men, you are Athenians. Are you not ashamed that you care about piling up as much money, reputation, and honor as you can, while giving no care or thought to wisdom and truth, and how your soul may be as good as it can be? For my only occupation is to go about persuading you, old and young, to neither care for your bodies nor for your money with more intensity than your soul, so that it may be as excellent as it can be. So I say, virtue does not come from money, but from virtue, money and everything else that is good comes to mankind." End quote. Socrates, the Apology. As you can see, Socrates said that the wise man would value wisdom and truth above money, reputation, or honor. That a wise man strives for his soul to be virtuous, one of the key virtues being wisdom, and as a result of striving for wisdom, money and every other good thing comes along. This means that the wisest man in all of Greece, who influenced great thinkers such as Plato and Aristotle, believes that attaining wisdom is more important than riches or honor. Is there anyone else in history who is also known to be wise, who also says something similar? Solomon, cited as being the wisest man in Israel, and according to the God of the Bible, Solomon is the wisest man who ever lived. Solomon was appointed king after his father, the great King David, passed away. At the beginning of Solomon's reign, God came to Solomon in a dream and told him that he would give him whatever he wished. Solomon responded with the following, quote, "You have shown great and steadfast love to your servant David, my father, because he walked before you in faithfulness, in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart toward you. And you have kept him for this great and steadfast love, and have given him a son to sit on his throne this day. And now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king in place of David my father. And although I am but a little child, I do not know how to go out or to come in. And your servant is in the midst of your people whom you have chosen, a great people, too many to be numbered or counted for the multitude. Give your servant, therefore, an understanding mind to govern your people, that I may discern between good and evil." End quote. 1 Kings 3, verses 6 through 9. Similar to Socrates, Solomon knew that he did not know. Therefore, he went to God to ask for wisdom above anything else. And as a result, here is how God responded. Quote, "It pleased the Lord that Solomon had asked this. And God said to him, because you have asked this, and have not asked for yourself long life or riches or the life of your enemies, but have asked for yourself understanding to discern what is right. Behold, I now do according to your word. Behold, I give you a wise and discerning mind, so that none like you has been before you, and none like you shall arise after you. I give you also what you have not asked, both riches and honor, so that no king shall compare with you all your days. And if you walk in my ways, keeping my statutes and commandments, as your father David walked, then I will lengthen your days." End quote. 1 Kings 3, verses 10 through 14. Not only did God grant Solomon the wisdom he requested, but he also gave him what he didn't ask for, riches and honor. Moreover, God stated that if Solomon would follow his commands, he would extend his life so that he would live a long life. King Solomon, the wisest man in Israel, stated, quote, "I chose wisdom above all the symbols of royalty and over any throne. In comparison to her, I counted riches as nothing. She was more precious to me than even a priceless jewel, since all the gold in the world would be nothing more than a little sand before her. All the silver would just be like clay in her presence. I loved her more than health or beauty. I chose her above sunlight itself, for her brightness never sets. Yet then I found that every other good thing also came with her, for in her hands were countless riches. I rejoiced in all this because wisdom brings them all in tow. I didn't know that she had given birth to them. I learned in innocence, and I don't begrudge sharing it with you. I won't conceal her riches. She is a never-ending treasure for humans." End quote. Wisdom of Solomon 7, verses 7 through 14. As you might be able to see, the wisest man in Greece and the wisest man in Israel both had similar views regarding wisdom and why it was important. First, both Socrates and Solomon knew that they didn't know, and they sought wisdom from a higher power. Second, both Socrates and Solomon know that humility is key in order to attain wisdom. Third, both Socrates and Solomon state that wisdom is more important than riches or honor. Fourth, both Socrates and Solomon are aware that every good thing in life can be attained from wisdom. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Seeking Wisdom, and we hope to see you in future episodes.